servant coming up to somebody like Naaman and saying something like, you need to do this or do that or do this or do that. Not good. I'm not even recording this, but anyway, he says that's not good, because the servant would stand a chance of being chastised pretty hard. So he came up to him, he said, if he'd asked you to do something great, like if he would have said, bring me 10,000 cattle, you would have done it. But he just asked you to go dip in the river and you won't do it. So he turned around, he went and dipped in the river, and he received his healing. His miracle was waiting in the water. Oh my goodness. So, there's other people. And I don't have time. In 1 Kings 1 Kings 18, you remember Elijah was there, and there had been a big drought in the land, and he sent his servant out, and he kept saying, go out and look, there's rain coming. And he said, one of my favorite lines in the Bible, I hear the sound of an abundance of rain, and yet it was dry. The servant went out, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Well, when you have faith, you hear the sound of the abundance of rain, whether or not the rain is there yet. And he kept sending him out. He said, go 7 times and keep coming back and telling me. And the last time he said, there's a cloud out there the size of a man's hand. Well, that cloud, that's how we see through our eyes. The cloud wasn't really the size of a man's hand. It was massive. But when it's far away from us, it looks so little. Oh, there's my miracle, but it's so puny. Wait upon God. When the storm came, he said, go tell them to batten down the hatches. It's getting ready to roll, and it did. Think of another person. Noah. His miracle, God said, I'm going to save your family from the flood after you work 100 years on building a big ship. His miracle didn't come instantly. It was 100 years he had to build a ship. Okay, so what am I saying? Sometimes God just gets things started for us, and he expects us to move. All right? I don't know. That's just what I feel in my spirit today. We got to take steps of faith. Steps of faith. Did you follow me today? And I don't know what that means for each individual person. I don't have an answer like who's out there. I'm not a great prophet saying somebody out there has this and this is what God's telling me. No, I'm saying for each of you this might mean something different. So I don't want to get real specific. But all I'm saying is God promises you in his word that the things you ask for, if they're not asked amiss, he will grant. So I'm telling you this morning, your miracle is out there, but it might be waiting in the water. And you might have to take a few steps to get there. As I talked about earlier, how sometimes you have to start peeling things away in your life. Sometimes that's people. Maybe that's what God's waiting on you to do. Maybe there's situations in your life that are keeping you from that miracle. Might be people. Might be things. Might be carnal desires. It might be, who knows what it is, but there's something between you and your miracle, and God is not, you're not waiting on God. God, in fact, is waiting on you to move some things in your life and move on. I hope that made sense. I had a lot more scriptures, but I'm not gonna read them. If you want to study this further, study Naaman in 2 Kings 5, and study about Elijah in 1 Kings 18. It starts in verse 41. Some things come through prayer and fasting, and some things come through your movement and not God's. Touchdown! Love y'all. Have a wonderful day.